Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday. Oh, Shep, the Potu won't hurt you. He's fine. Don't worry. Sorry for the slightly late start. Had some heat-based technical difficulties. And now the audio should be good, I think. I think the audio is fixed. Let me know if the audio balance is weird. Hello, Figment's Maid gets no nature. Shay on a serene. Sounds okay? Good. I've been reminded that I've left my phone on. So I'll just silence that. Let's find a... Oh. I was doing pixel work. There's a pencil. Let's get back to a brush that's a normal brush. So over the weekend, I drew a weasel with a sword. For fun. Just, you know, 'cause weasels are cool. Hello, Arcraft. It turns out that, like, Twitter had just been waiting for a weasel with a sword. I don't know why. Just really waiting for it. So, in keeping with the theme, you're right, Shauna Serene, today we are giving squirrels axes instead of weasels swords. Because, I don't know, I felt like squirrels should have little axes. Yeah, I was gonna say, Arcraft, you have work. Go to bed. What are you doing here? Get some sleep, Arcraft. So I'm gonna sketch some squirrels in some potentially. I found one of a squirrel shouting that was pretty great. A little. A little photo of a shouting squirrel. Just to warm up with some sketching. Good night, Arcraft. Thank you for coming in to remind us all to save our files. So, you know, squirrels with axes seem natural. I might do a badger with a warhammer and, like, I don't know, glasses and a book. Because I like the contrast. It's 2020, says Shep. We are all the screaming squirrel. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... kind of the sense that I have about life. The appropriate reaction is just to scream into the void. Oh, what type of badger, says Shauna Serene? British, American, or honey? I don't know. British are a very good sort of badger shape, but I have a fondness for American badgers because they're, I don't know, a softer, fluffier badger. What about an ox priest? We're doing small animals. Weasels and badgers and squirrels today. Also, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't want to work out how to not give... See, I'm not prepared to properly anthropomorphize animals. I'm just prepared to draw them in like a vaguely human pose and dress them up. So as far as I'm concerned, I've already drawn an ox priest, and it's just an ox with a silly hat. Weasels and squirrels have the benefit of already having, you know, sort of hands. They can stand up. On their little hind legs. And, you know, sort of like birds. Like birds, I can pretend that it makes sense, even though it doesn't. Whereas with true proper hooved quadrupeds, I don't want to have to try and figure out the logistics, or we're just gonna end up with something horrifying like the fully armed cassowary. And does anyone really want that? Hey, fait accompli. We are we're arming squirrels today. We're arming squirrels today because Twitter wanted more. Twitter was... So if we were gonna have like a little, would they be... They're like a pair. So does one go... One's like here, right? Waiting by his little axe. Her little axe, I think this is a lady. I think this is a lady squirrel. But should she be sort of in front and up back here while that squirrel shouts, or should she be in front of this shouting squirrel like here? We'll find out in a second. Yeah, giving squirrels weaponry seems fine. I mean, you know, what could go wrong? Just turn you off for a second. What could go wrong with squirrels and weapons? Hello, Sparklefish. Welcome to Give a Squirrel an Axe Day. Oh, a little sip of tea. Let's see, where does, well, okay. Where does your tail go? I think if you're there, your tail can go like around the side here. But if you're gonna go behind him, your tail needs to be up. Tail up, tail. Tail's just better when it's up. It's just more luxurious when it's up behind. The right to arm bears sounds like that is a recipe for a war in the forest, says Shiana Serene. Tails up like pinkies up, says Figment's Maid. Okay. So we've got startled squirrel and shouting squirrel. What order should they go in? Like that. Maybe a little bit of distance, but some overlap. Like they're partners, you know? Or you behind is shouting squirrel sort of here, here. Shouting squirrel needs to be closer to the thing he's shouting at than other squirrel. His little paw on the shoulders. Aw. No, I think that we need more over. Just maybe that much overlap. Do a quick. Nope. Incorrect. Just do a quick mask to see how that looks. Yeah, kind of like that. While we're just tidy your sketch up a little bit there. Fait accompli, already writing the story of what's going on here. Well, of course, Standing Squirrel is staring like that. Standing Squirrel is really upset about what was just said, but still hopes there's a peaceful resolution available. It's, fair enough. Okay. So that's kind of the setup that I'm thinking of. Sort of their brothers in arms. Fait accompli is fanfic. I mean, feel free to fanfiction the squirrels. Feel free. It's absolutely okay. Is it saved? It's not. Now it is. Nope, that was the wrong window. Hang on, there it goes. Nope, not that folder. Tiny Warriors.psd. I don't know, I'm making up names now. You're just gonna have to sit with the eyes, Shep. Just gonna have to gonna have to deal with it. Where was the reference image of the shouting squirrel, I wonder? I seem to have lost it. That seems unlikely. Oh, there he is. There we go. Trying to juggle my windows. 2 screens, not enough. By the way, in case anyone is completely confused what I was talking about earlier about a weasel, there's the weasel. That's the weasel I did. Just a weasel sketch, just a really quick weasel with a sword, as you do. Auntie Shepherd says, explaining a great many things. I had a taxidermy squirrel when I was a kid that I took everywhere. That's oddly exactly what I would expect, and just perfect. What was the name of your taxidermy squirrel? Please share. Yeah, this is sort of a give a mouse a cookie, give a squirrel an axe. Oh, I wasn't paying attention, but someone mentioned cookies. Fait accompli says I used to go to a cookie shop that put ginormous googly eyes on one of the industrial ovens, so they were right above the big hole that the cookies went into. Aww, that's adorable. The taxidermy squirrel's name was Sammy. Right, so here's what I'm thinking. Let's give some squirrels some weaponry. So I'm thinking kind of Viking squirrels. Like, just as a vague concept, not as a historically accurate choice, because we know how the internet is about Vikings. They're never historically accurate. I'm sure, Shep, that you can get a taxidermy squirrel again. You have to find the right squirrel. Pickles787 says, very rightly, if you give a squirrel an axe, then the squirrel will want to fight the system. Yeah, so my thought is, let's see, if you're, where do you holster an axe? The internet? I feel like maybe your hand axes go at your belt, but I don't know how you draw an axe. Is there a little... And a little, you know, like a little, nope, that's both the wrong color and the wrong scale of brush. Let's try that again. You have a little like, and it's got a little clip, and then your axe goes in here. But that's how you holster like an axe that like I would actually own, like a proper normal axe. Belt loop. Okay, but we'll go with belt loops. So like but you don't want to cut yourself with your axe. So maybe like there. You know? And then this squirrel's got like, the squirrel's got a battle axe. Just leaning on the battle axe with this hand, because that hand is so conveniently placed for that. We're just gonna... Oh, what kind of battle axe? Maybe two-sided? Two-sided battle axe? Sparklefish informs us that all axen are supposed to have covers. If one accent is good, two are better. Yeah, I mean, you know. Right? Makes sense. So, you know, this squirrel has a very large axe. Now let's see. Also some kind of like epic collar. Not fur, because that seems weird for a squirrel. Like, I have concerns about the idea of it, but like just feels like needs some kind of epic collar going on. Ooh, Sparklefish's double-headed axes are scary to throw. I mean, that, yeah, that sounds scary. Hello, Hannah. Yeah, well, maybe you've woven... Maybe it is fluff, maybe you're using plant fluff for your collar. Let's see. Squirrels are bendy and require belts in various places. You know, like you do. Acorn helmet. How does a helmet stay on? Needs a strap, I guess. That looks silly. Well, Sept informs us that for a mere $250, they could have a taxidermy squirrel dressed like a cowboy. And Fata Combley would like to know, would you then carry it around and name it Sammy Jr.? Because that would be perfect. Acorn helmet? No. Maybe on you? Just doesn't feel like it's gonna be that helpful. Shep has realized they could decorate their entire yurt with taxidermy because no one could tell them no. And there is a great deal of support for spite decoration and spite taxidermy in chat now. Ooh. Fait accompli, writing their own backyard horror novel, says, I feel like squirrels would wear grackle skull helmets, but maybe that's just the ones in my backyard, which implies that the squirrels in Fait accompli's backyard are putting on grackle skull helmets, and I am terrified. Anyway, this is definitely not working for me. It's weird looking on a squirrel head, but now I'm going to look up grackle skulls and see if the shape is, how do you make a helmet out of a grackle skull? How do you make... I'm not convinced you do make a grackle skull helmet. Okay, no, maybe... I have an idea. I have a thought. It might be a little horrifying. So you're just gonna have to bear with me. So, the eye hole, hang on, you need to shift it a little bit. The eye hole is for the ears, you see. And then you've got sort of the skull, and then you've got the top of the bill there, and that is a weapon. You can stab people with that. Yes, eye hole, ear hole. I was looking at it long enough. I was like, no, I can make this work. Yeah. So there you go. Grackle skull helm. It's a defensive hat. Well, because if you think about it, a squirrel, like, oh nope, that's a window full of Vikings. What was it? A squirrel, you know, running up a tree, for example. Right? They're going head first. And you want defense. And a lot of belts so your axes don't fall off the tree. Like that. Saving. Do squirrels have aristocracy? Having watched squirrels a lot in yards over the years, I think that squirrels are anarchists, but kind of in the way that high school boys are anarchists. But yeah, I feel standing squirrel is definitely in charge. Ooh, what about... I thought about European red squirrel ear tufts, but right. Yeah, okay. Standing squirrel can have ear tufts. It's too cute. It's too cute not to. This is really making me want to read the Squirrel Girl novels where she's in junior high. It says fait accompli. Do it. Oh, no, I'm just reading. I've been politely ignoring No one can make me fix the eyes. Okay, where are we? Look, this one, it's fine. There. I did it. Back to battle axes. Battle axes and outfits. Let's see, another maybe. Oh, let's see. What part of a bird works here? What bird bits can we use for the rest of this outfit? Waste not, want not, after all. And Sept found taxidermy deer butts. Yeah, I guess once you're oh, maybe this is feathers. Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe some vertebra. You know, sewn on for armor. Oh, I don't know. Oops, too many undos. Ooh, now that's a thought. What about, let's go back to my... What about, yeah, like, kind of that idea of, like... Not quite sort of Japanese lacquer armor stuff, but it's just too much fiddly detail, I feel like. I mean, it's a cool idea, but it just doesn't, it's too much fiddly small detail. Yes, fait accompli. Any further bird bone elements are definitely the fault of your suggestion. The problem is squirrels don't really have shoulders like we have shoulders. So anything I put there, like, it's really not the same. I think I might stick with, oops, wrong window. I think I might stick with the bird vertebrae decoration going around anyway. Oh, let's see. What are these little? What are these made of? I wonder. Do I need to figure it out? Does it matter? What? Oh, good. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what the taxidermy squirrel looked like. Oh, he looks so offended. I love it. Like, he's leaning away from you. He's giving you side eye. His lip is curled a little bit. So just offended. It's offended by, just fully offended by you. That's that taxidermied squirrel. Okay. So that's, I feel like, enough planning. I feel like I could just move on to Mr. Natural and get going with the actual inking. Mouse Girls was my high school friend, had a taxidermy turkey she inherited from an uncle or something. We named it Oxnard. Oxnard the turkey. Oh no, its neck was broken. Oh dear. And Critter on Demand says, why does it not surprise me that Auntie Shepherd had a taxidermy squirrel? I mean, yeah, that's what I said when she brought it up. When they brought it up, I was like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Of course you did. The taxidermy squirrel had a doll cradle, and Shep used to tuck their dead squirrel in at night. Oh no, Shep. That's so adorable. Alright. Where's my squirrel reference? There's my squirrel reference. Well, I have to say, that is quite a mental image. Mouse Girl says, we lashed it to a skateboard. It, by the way, is the Oxnard, the taxidermy turkey, with the broken neck. And they dragged it around on a boring weekend to the casino they hung out at in Las Vegas. which is, again, of course you did. It's just, of course. Poor kids in Vegas have taxidermy. Oh no, and going, oh look at this Oxnard, isn't this interesting? And making him nod his broken neck head. Oh no. Oh no. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how to draw the thing I decided should be here now, which is quite the trick. Let's see. I decided this was feathers. So let's try and make it so that it doesn't look like fur, shall we? Like a combination, like feather boa, you know, with the soft feathers. And fancy feather collar made with sort of the longer feathers. Fadecon says, I support Standing Squirrel for political office and or military command. Yeah, she's pretty collected looking, isn't she? I'd vote for Standing Squirrel. Trustworthy. Exactly. Standing Squirrel seems trustworthy. Just the right combination of caution, consideration, dignity. Just what's needed. Ah, Shep says, you know how little kids will demand adults acknowledge the feelings of their dolls. Shep says, they were like that with Sammy the dead squirrel, and some adults found it upsetting. And yes, despite of the yelling, it feels clear that Standing Squirrel has control of the situation. The angry squirrel won't be allowed to do whatever he wants. The measures are in place. As they should be. Oops. Okay. Fine. That was, whatever just happened was incorrect. There we go. I don't know why you didn't want to rotate, but we'll start at this end for my sweeping sweeping axe handle. Oh no, I'm just gonna draw this line 20,000 times before getting it right. Nope. Come on. Oh, that was the wrong keyboard shortcut. Oh, for heaven's sake. I won't do it in one long sweep then. I won't show off. I get it. Being too cocky. Rein it in. Oof. So, how's everybody in chat doing? It's 84 in my office right now. Part of the reason we got started a little bit late was heat-based technical issues, which seem to have resolved themselves, which is good. Ooh, Hannah made a cute Halloween character design for a collab with a friend. That's awesome. Fait Accompli is exhausted and has to join a Zoom meeting in 5 minutes, which sounds less awesome. Critter on Demand says it's 94 out here, which is, yeah. The air quality from smoke is the issue. Yeah, our air quality is actually getting better here in coastal California. So we are gonna survive the heat wave because we can once again open our windows without letting in toxic air. Let's see. It's very cold. It's very cold in Australia, for they might be scientists. And making notes for papers on sheep growth. That sounds nice. Sept is moving into the yurt this week, which is super awesome. I don't know, Critter on Demand is with me in Northern California, but is but it's past the hills. Oh no, you're on the other side of the hills that block the delicious sea breeze. That's too bad. I would say it's quite nice on the coast, but it's not that nice. It's oh, it's better. It's 72 now. It was in the 90s earlier. I guess we're getting our temperature crash, which means I'm gonna get a headache later, but I also won't be trying to work through a heat wave, so that will be nice. See you later, Fait Accompli. Good luck with your work thing with the meetings and the Zooms. I hope it doesn't turn out to be an meeting that could have been an email. You know how it is. Right. Ooh, Critter on Demand got a new Wacom tablet. Very nice. I have a long history of tablets before I came to the realization that Cintiqs are the best thing. So I've given a lot of tablets away in my day. Oh. New tablet is off-brand. Hmm. Oh, that's true. Hannah does. Hannah has one of my tablets. Hannah has one of my old Wacom tablets. My housemate has one of my old Wacom tablets. I spread those around quite a bit. Because I've never had one die. I've never had a Wacom tablet stop working. See you later. See you later, Hannah. Enjoy roasting some broccoli. Save there. Yep, yep. Ooh, you know where we can put an acorn, just for fun. Let's take that literally decorative acorn end. Hehe. Right. Battle axe. Where's my... Nope, that's the wrong window. Where's my battle axe? There we go. Nope, those are squirrels. Where are the Vikings? Where the Vikings? Vikings? Nope. There are the Vikings. Okay. And this is like the last stream of Sword Timber, and here we are streaming axes instead of swords. Shame on us. But I mean, what can you do? Squirrels felt like they belonged with axes. Possibly it was the trees, the affinity for trees that did it, but it felt right to give squirrels axes. Also, I've seen them scream at me and chase each other. Axes are just squished swords. Axetober. Oh, Axetober is pretty. It has a ring to it. It's true. Squirrel with a battle axe. Yes. Okay. Good. One squirrel done. It's time for Angry Squirrel. Critter on Demand is trying to teach themselves some Photoshop. I think that's what that abbreviation is for in chat. Photoshop is not intuitive, as far as I can tell. It has been so long since I learned it that I'm not sure anymore. but oh man, Paint Shop Pro. Yeah, I learned Photoshop back in the 90s. So all I've really had to do is sort of update my knowledge now and then when they change where things are. I will say that really the brush tool and layers are enough to get you through quite a lot of Photoshop. If you can learn how to download and add brushes, that's another helpful step. Just gonna redo this eye entirely because it's not mad enough the way I did it the first time. There we go. But yeah, I wouldn't even know, I think I wouldn't even know how to start teaching someone Photoshop just because it's so much a part of my day-to-day work life that I wouldn't really know what was intuitive and what wasn't. See something that I have done when I was sketching, because the build needs to actually be straight, so it actually kind of goes out like that. Yep, silly me. That's fine. Fixed it. All fixed. Critter on Demand says I have some drawings to use as a base just to fiddle with. So let me try and find, I'll do a super quick tutorial for you with the weasel, because this might be something that you have fun with. So I've opened, it's a PNG, it could be a JPG, it's a solid layer, there's white and black. Like a pen and ink drawing. Like the coloring pages I put on my Patreon. I'm gonna move this, let me see if I can make sure that I can see. Move this sideways here for a minute. So, here are your layers. Right now you can see you've got the layer, one layer is the thing you opened. If you take that black and white drawing, drag it down to the little plus, duplicate it, or you can highlight it to get, you know, the left click thing and find duplicate layer on here and do it that way. And then you'll get a pop-up and it'll have you do that. But so now that you've got this layer, add another layer in between them, just a blank layer. Go to your top layer, that layer that's that black and white, and then instead of normal in this drop-down menu, select multiply or darken. I prefer multiply. Now that you've done that, it looks exactly the same, like nothing's changed. But if you go to your brush tool, pick a color, let's say, let's do, yeah, like a weasel color. Now, select that, back to on screen, this middle layer, the blank layer. Now, when you color on that blank layer, it's underneath all those black lines, because multiply shows the black through, but basically removes light colors. And that's a quick and easy way to take a line drawing that you've scanned or one that you've pulled off the internet to play with, and it gives you an easy sort of, oh good, now I can color. Now I can color without worrying about the line art. It's just right there on top. You can have some fun, do some experimenting. Another thing that you can use multiply for is, let's say I'm gonna just take a slightly darker color and I'm gonna do that, but you know what, maybe instead let's do blue. What will that looks weird, right? What do I do with that? Now that's my blues on this layer. I can turn it to, let's say, multiply, and then turn its opacity way down. And now you've got like a shadow layer that's a little bit tinted. You can play with stuff like that. So on a sort of super base level, yeah, so it becomes gray, a little bit cool. You can experiment with, oh, like what's purple look like? Oh, look at that. Purple is making it a little bit warmer. Do that. So yeah, that's a sort of a base level, quick, easy layer things that will help you do a whole lot of stuff. Your layer blending options here, your layer opacity. Oh, I think I'm off screen. Your layer opacity here, and then new layers and duplicating layers. That will get you through a lot of Photoshop use. No, don't save the weasel. Where were we? Here we were. We were inking a squirrel. Anyway, there's your Photoshop tutorial for today. I hope it helps. You're very welcome, Critter on Demand. Our music's gotten a little bit adventurous, hasn't it? But yeah, that's kind of basically with those things. Twitch dumped your old account. Oh, okay. BT. Oh, Mitchie UK's gotta get some sleep in the UK. Have a good night, Mitchie UK. Hope you've enjoyed our squirrels and our Photoshop tutorial. Critter on Demand is a fan of Critical Role. I see. That makes sense. Did I? Of course, I closed the window with the bird vertebra. Don't worry, I'll find it again. I think I'll find it again. There it is. Okay. Just, you know. Gotta have a visual reference for your horrifying squirrel decorations. Oh, right. Axe. Vikings and axes. What kind of axe? Not that kind of axe. Or like that kind of axe. Never mind, that's an image of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I just like the axe shape. Which is like that. And then, is this all in one layer? Oh lord. Talk about living dangerously. Let's get second squirrel on his own layer there. Oof. Don't want to have to figure out that overlap later. Another thing about software that it won't help you learn it, but it may help you feel better about learning it, is that occasionally everyone runs into something that they don't understand after like years of using a software. Recently Photoshop changed something and I had to ask Hannah how to turn it off because I couldn't find it. It was driving me slowly insane. I had no idea what they'd done or where it was. But like the way that something worked had just changed just enough to happen every single time I tried to do something. And it was so bad. I could not deal. Alright, so I'm sort of axe holstering here. Because that just feels like safety first, you know? Axe safety first. Oh, Shadowstream's gotta wrangle cat and kid. Thanks for joining us. See you later. Yeah, everyone's basically the software will once be like, oh, this is what people will want, right? This will make their jobs easier. And I'm like, but that's the opposite of how it was before. Why would you do that? Why would you make it the opposite of how it was? Why must I learn a new thing? I don't wish to. I use this software a lot. I had it worked out. Oops. That's kind of the most annoying thing, is that when you're using art software in a professional capacity for your job, the speed at which you do things matters a lot. So something that fully breaks your workflow is hugely problematic. Right? Yeah. Maybe they're just bucking for you to need a tutorial and pay for it. And new features are fine. New features are different, but changing, like recently they reversed the way that scale works. So previously you'd sort of, I use keyboard shortcuts, but you'd get the bounding box to like scale something, and you'd hold shift if you wanted it to scale evenly. But now if you hold shift, it's the opposite. Now it scales evenly by default, and holding shift means that you're stretching it. And that took some learning. That took some some consideration. And it was annoying for a while. And eventually you get used to it. But for the longest time, I would just always, the first time I did it, hold down Shift, go, wait, what? And then remember. Every single time. It'd be like a constant first try failure. And it makes sense. I don't want to fully diss the idea, because more often than not you want to scale evenly. That really should have been the default all along. It's more likely that you'll want to just make something evenly bigger than to stretch it. But changing it without warning was very confusing. The thing I had to investigate was I'm used to holding down I think it's control. No, it's whatever command is on a PC. I got a Mac. You hold down command and click on a layer to select it. But they sort of swapped it, so the default was if you clicked on a layer just at all, you would select it, which meant that I was constantly moving or swapping layers without realizing it. And that was a bad change, I think. Because if I'm drawing, I don't want to just accidentally swap a layer every time I try and move something. It's not helpful. Almost done. Let's have a little bird bone pin here. For the buckle. You know, of course. As you do. The last of the vertebra here. Okay, that is the squirrels. Let's do a little bit of touching up. Let's sort of darken some of this. Give it some weight. Fierce squirrels, yes. Let's see what else needs. Go to your layer. We need to. We need to get the bird's bill on there. Dark like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it. Yes, squirrels. Oh, music. Music Pod always pops in eventually with Why Won't You Die? Ah, you know, we need some. There, we need some tail depth. Good. And some. Just some little details. Ooh, maybe a pouch. Pouch. Bigger pouch. Nah. So squirrels. Squirrels are done. Look at these good squirrels and their axes. And their weapons. Their squirrely weapons. They're also saved, so that's good. Just take myself the screenshot for later. Alright, what do we think? What do we think? Badger? Got about 30 minutes. Made their own go. Yeah, very self-sufficient. Self-sufficient squirrels. Just gonna name my layer section. Okay, let's see. Sounds like there's some badger support. Some badger support in chat. Oh no, you didn't realize that Australia didn't have squirrels until you moved there. Oh dear. You accidentally went to a land devoid of squirrels. Badgers, badgers, badgers. Looking at pictures of badgers. See, because American badgers they're fluffy, and that's kind of fun. Right? If rabbits wound up in Australia, surely squirrels, but no. Ah, lights. Okay. So, just looking at some badger images here. Some badger photos. So, here's what I'm thinking for a badger. Let's go back to my pencil. My soft pencil 10. My favorite. Now we're talking about the fact that Australia has ibis instead of pigeons. And so here's the thing. When I heard the term bin chicken, I was very excited. I was like, what strange creature could this be? It sounds like a really exciting bird. And then I looked it up and I was like, that's just an ibis. Why are you giving ibis weird names? They've already got a name. Turns out, bin chickens. Just ibis. Just ibis eating out of trash cans. Like you do, I guess. So my thought is that we've got kind of, badgers have those long faces. And excellent stripes. And my thought is he's kind of got glasses. And a book. Let's see, how does an animal with eyes kind of on the side of its head read a book? I guess they kind of have to shove their nose way into it. Or hold it way up. Anyway, they've got pretty impressive digging claws as well. And then they're kind of floofy. Let's see. Oh dear. Huh. Somewhere in the middle of chat I got a welcome to the chat room message. Weird. Don't know what that was about. Okay, I need to rethink this slightly. Sorry. That badger's gone forever. Don't worry. There'll be another one. Let's see. Because I want... If you had... Because I want kind of a... Warhammer in the crook of your arm kind of thing going on. Then. And maybe a little book. And big badger claws. So maybe more like that. I know, Figment's Made, I know the badger was cute, but look, I just needed to redo the whole post, which was problematic. So could be Warhammer. Alternately, let's just grab some red. Alternately, because it is sword timber, we could have it be like a fully have it, you know, go up like that, and have it be like that warrior, you know, warrior sword on the shoulder pose, but with like a hilariously large sword. Maybe that's slightly too hilariously large, it turns out. I went too far. Yeah, I mean sheathed, obviously. So what do we think? Giant sword, hammer. Oh, Shep must sleep because little collies get up early. Good night, Shep. Sword, hammer. Hammer. Sword. Thoughts? Thoughts on the appropriate badger weapon? Both. Can't, there's not space for both. You can't have both. Oh, sword in the ground. We can make that properly. We can make that properly hilarious. We could just. Ooh, I've got a better idea than sword in the ground. Could just. Some implications. So, you know, or out of place in a funny way. The hammer just does. The hammer looks much more comfortable, I must say. Just the hammer. The hammer looks far more like you might actually want to sit with it. Yeah, the hammer looks comfy. Exactly, Figment's made. Hammer looks comfy. And it's important to be comfy when you're reading. stripes. They've got, I think, thick glasses, just to make it slightly more amusing. And then they've got kind of floofy. Sleeker on the back, floofy around the sides. You know, as you do. And back feet. What do badger back feet look like? No one knows. I'm gonna assume they look like... Hang on. I bet I can figure it out. I bet Google image search will help me. Ah, well that, yes, Google image search will, it turns out, help me. They look like bare feet, it turns out. Who knew? Slightly the wrong place there. Move that down. There we go. Now it's time to Google warhammer and hope that I can find an image that's not the game. Yes, good. Let's see, a nice decorative. This one works. This one's good and simple. Ah, if you search with 5, you attach, you get D&D art. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It mixed in with all of the game stuff are plenty of images of actual warhammers. Fantasy warhammers are far more hammer-like than reality warhammers. Reality warhammers are a little bit more like meat tenderizers. You know, these things happen. What can you do? Probably nothing. Against the meat tenderizer warhammer. Ah, wait, this goes in front of all of that. Put the handle, let's see. Nope, not quite. That's like that. then mental image of a battle meat tenderizers musing. Look, so hang on, I'll find an image of a proper. This is a replica, but this is more what an actual warhammer would be. With a little meat tenderizer end and a stabby end. You know. Kind of like that. Free. Fun history facts. Meat tenderizers. Anyway. Let's get back to badgers. Book needs to be closer, but we'll do that in a second. Let's make it a little bit fancy. Because why not? Why not make it a little bit fancy? Badgers can have fancy books. That's fair. Actually, but that's not where you would hold that book like that. If you're holding it one-handed, you're holding it like that. Because you've got to be able to hold it open. Oops. That actually makes more sense because it has to be kind of held up like that, doesn't it? No, it needs to be even higher, I think. Yeah, kind of there. So that your little... So that your little feet can grip onto it, you know? Which I feel like means all of this has to come forward and then up. There we go. Badger. The arrows are just, yeah, I can freehand some arrows. No problem. Badger. She knows a little too pointed. Just, yeah. Alright. What kind of outfit does Fluffy Badger wear? Maybe we'll just add a layer. Go back to maybe a scarf? Badger in a scarf with a warhammer. Maybe a little vest. You know, just yeah, vest and a scarf. Vest and a scarf works. Feeling good about vest and scarf, Badger? Just making that warhammer a little bit more decorative here. As it were. Good, okay. Let's make Badger a little bit, oops, I did it. I did the exact thing that I just talked to you about. I held down shift for no reason. Okay, we'll make Badger bigger. How big were squirrels? Squirrels were actually quite small. Oops. Oh well. Make up for it now with Badger. Where is my Mr. Natural? Mr. Natural brush? Okay. Let's see if in the next few minutes we can ink a Badger. Kurt Underman says, yeah, muscle memory is an issue. Yeah, exactly. It's a muscle memory thing. And I have saved Figments Made. Thank you for reminding me. It's the first save is the hardest. All the rest come naturally after that. I recognize that sounds a little weird, but it's true. You can kind of remember to push the keyboard shortcut for save once you've done it the first time. Eyes. Badger stripes. Get those right. Yeah. A very learned and much shot upon Badger, yes. That was. There we go. Let's see, the stripe kind of comes down like that. There we go. Badger. The pen is mightier than the warhammer, and he's got both. Yeah, exactly. And then we've got vest. And much floof. So it has to be a wide vest opening there. Otherwise your floof might get in the way. Oh, let's see. Let's go for a paisley vest. What do you think? Just a suggestion of paisley, not... We don't want to go overboard. You know, not like that time we drew a dozen bird vertebrae, not just a minute ago. We wouldn't want to go that far. But I want to just make sure that it stands out from the... Yeah, there we go. Just wanted to make sure it stands out from the scarf. Good night, Otenchi 3. See you later. Tommy Floof. Yes. And yeah, badgers have bare feet. They've got the little pads and the long claws. Who knew? I don't feel like I made that first one sharp enough. Fix that. There we go. All right. Arm goes in front. And then warhammer. Like you do. Like you have. And if you have a warhammer, you use it for an armrest, obviously, because of course you do. Decorations. Because, you know, fancy warhammer. Saving. Book and claws. Oops. Make the book look nice with many pages. Fluffy arm. He's so adorable. I love him. More than I expected to when I had this idea a minute ago. Who knew? Okay, let's maybe arrow cheat here. I say cheat, it's not really cheating. Yes. Just making the arrows straight. That was the wrong way to rotate that. Yeah, there we go. Right? Get to know you said I want to be friends with the badger, with this badger. Yeah, it seems like he'd be a good friend, right? Capable, protective, well educated. Just a little bit nearsighted. Farsighted? What is the I don't ever remember which is which. You know, needs glasses to read. Whichever that is. Alright, almost done. One more arrow. This one's splintered by a warhammer. As happens. There we go. A little bit of ground there. And done. Badger is all set. What a good badger. We might need a little bit more floof here. Yes, I think we do. There. This curve maybe there instead. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Works a little bit better. Good. Ooh, Claudius Badger the Third because of those claws. Claudius claws. Oh, I like it. Claudius. Excellent. Alrighty, screenshot of that. We've done what I set out to do. I'm gonna just Label this one Badger. We've got ourselves a badger and some squirrels. Let's accomplish what I set out to accomplish today. And it's 7 o'clock and I haven't had dinner yet, so it's time for wrapping up. Squirrels, we'll let squirrels sit on screen for a minute. I hope that everybody enjoyed the badger and squirrel armament stream. I had fun. I will see you again on Friday for Friday tea time at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Remember, there is no Saturday stream this week. I will remember to cancel it on the little thing. So don't show up on Saturday. There's no Bloodborne on Saturday. But there is art on Friday at 3 p.m. If you're a patron, the well-armed animals will be up as coloring pages shortly. So if you want to play with coloring them, I got you. Badger improves everyone's day. Badger improves everyone's day. So yes, patrons, coloring pages of these up soon. If you are not a patron but would like to be, my Patreon is linked below. It's Sarah with T everywhere. Sarah with T is just my name on all of the things. And you can join at 3 tiers for $2 a month. You get access to all the behind-the-scenes posts and the coloring pages, which are high resolution, so you can print them out and color them however you want. For $5 a month, there's a sketch request level where you can just ask for things. Often I'll do a full Friday stream that's just patron sketch requests every few months. And at $10 a month, I will mail you quarterly prints in a little package. The next one of those is on Halloween. So if that's a thing you're thinking about doing, do it before the last week of October, when I'll be mailing everyone's Halloween surprises out. So, until Friday, hope everyone has a good week and a good night. Stay well and safe. Enjoy your well-armored small animals. I will see you later. Bye.